Ukraine's 3,000 km missiles that can strike Moscow. The truth you weren't supposed to know. Imagine this. One morning, Moscow wakes up not to the sound of church bells, but to explosions echoing across its industrial heart, oil refineries burning, weapons depots reduced to rubble, and the shocking truth: these strikes weren't carried out by NATO or American bombers. They came from Ukrainian-made missiles, built in secret, capable of traveling 3,000 kilometers. Before we dive deeper into this forbidden story, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Do you think Ukraine should have the right to strike Moscow directly, or does this risk unleashing total war? I want to hear your thoughts. Now, here's what most people don't realize. After Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, Ukraine faced a brutal reality. Western allies refused to give them long-range strike weapons. Washington and Brussels feared escalation. But Ukraine didn't stop. Instead, a network of shadowy defense startups began creating weapons in secret. One of the most extraordinary, Firepoint, a company so hidden, even its executives often remain anonymous. According to Associated Press, Firepoint started with drones that could hit oil depots over 1,000 kilometers away. Cheap, effective, and devastating, Russia suddenly couldn't keep up its relentless glide bomb attacks, but that was just the beginning. What came next would terrify even the Kremlin. Behind closed doors, engineers, many with no prior defense background, began designing something unprecedented, a cruise missile code named the Flamingo. Don't be fooled by the playful name. This weapon can carry a payload of over 1,100 kilograms, fly across nearly half of Europe, and land within 14 meters of its target. It's 5 times cheaper than Russia's Iranian-made Shaheeds, yet far more precise. And here's the most chilling part. Firepoint is reportedly producing 1 missile a day, with the goal of 7 per day by October. Do the math. Hundreds of these could soon exist, missiles capable of hitting Moscow, St. Petersburg, even Russian bases near the Arctic. But if that doesn't already send shivers down your spine, wait until you hear what's happening right now inside underground factories hidden beneath civilian cities. If you want to check the details yourself, I've placed the sources in the description. Sources: Associated Press exclusive reports on Firepoint, AP interviews with executives, Firepoint missile data, AP 2024. What if I told you that these factories, where Ukraine's long-range missiles are born, don't look like military plants at all? Some are hidden in warehouses, others in abandoned shopping centers, and even beneath ordinary apartment blocks. Why? Because Russia is hunting them every single day. The Associated Press revealed that Firepoint deliberately blends into civilian areas. It's a deadly gamble. If Russia strikes these sites, thousands of civilians could die instantly. And yet, Ukraine takes the risk because survival depends on it. Here's the twist. Firepoint's founders weren't even soldiers. One was an architect, another a video game designer. Together, they reverse-engineered drone software to outsmart Russian electronic warfare. Imagine former gamers and construction workers now building weapons that can level oil refineries in Moscow's suburbs. And it's working. Ukrainian officials claim that 60% of all deep strikes into Russia come from Firepoint's drones and missiles, oil facilities in Belgorod, ammunition depots in Bryansk, even critical military bases hundreds of kilometers beyond the front lines. Russia's once unstoppable war machine, slowing, choking, burning. But here's where it gets darker. Analysts warn that the Flamingo missile's 3,000-kilometer range isn't just about Moscow. It puts targets across all of European Russia at risk, even Kaliningrad, even naval bases that were once thought untouchable. And with precision this sharp, Ukraine could cripple Russia's economy in a matter of weeks. Still, there's a terrifying irony. Ukraine says these weapons are purely defensive. A shield, not a sword. But what happens when a country on the edge of survival controls technology that rivals NATO arsenals? Some insiders whisper this could trigger a global arms race in cheap, long-range missiles and the real nightmare? Other nations are already watching closely. As we peel back this layer, you'll see just how massive Ukraine's weapons industry has become and why even Washington is quietly nervous. If you'd like to fact check, I've placed every source in the description. Sources: Associated Press, Firepoint, Factory Coverage 2024, Ukrainian Defense Ministry reports, AP Technical Missile Briefings. Ukraine isn't just producing weapons for itself anymore. It's becoming a global defense hub, and that changes everything. Right now, Kyiv's government is spending over $10 billion annually on domestic weapons. But officials openly admit they could sell triple that amount to Europe. Imagine it, a nation under siege transforming into one of the world's largest exporters of cutting-edge missiles and drones. This isn't speculation, it's already happening. According to AP investigations, Ukraine is pitching sales to allies who desperately want cheaper alternatives to American and Israeli systems. And Firepoint, it's not the only company. Hundreds of startups have risen since 2022, many operating underground, each racing to out-innovate the other. Think about the speed. Firepoint went from 30 drones a month in 2023 to 100 a day in 2024. That's industrial-scale war production. And it's not slowing down. Every profit is reinvested into research, new engines, new software, even new stealth tech designed to slip past Russian radars. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If Ukraine starts exporting these weapons, they won't just stay in Europe. Once in the global arms market, they could end up in places like the Middle East, Africa, or Asia. The same drones burning Moscow's skies today could be striking oil terminals in the Persian Gulf tomorrow. Western officials are torn. On one hand, Ukraine's innovation is heroic, even vital. On the other, it threatens to destabilize global security in ways no one has fully considered. Some Pentagon advisors quietly admit Ukraine's Flamingo missile is almost as capable as the US Tomahawk, but costs a fraction to build. What happens when poorer nations realize they can suddenly afford weapons once reserved for superpowers? We're entering uncharted territory. And the next revelation might be the most shocking of all. Ukraine's weapons engineers claim they've already solved one of warfare's most elusive challenges, building missiles that don't even need traditional launch pads. Stay with me. The next section reveals what could change the entire balance of this war. Sources are in the description. Sources: AP Exclusive Ukraine Weapons Industry 2024, Ukrainian Government Procurement Data, Pentagon Advisory Leaks cited by AP. Here's the secret: few outside Ukraine dare to whisper these new missiles don't need runways, silos, or fancy bases. They can launch from trucks, fields, even hidden forest roads. That means Russia can't easily target them before they strike. It's a nightmare scenario for Moscow's generals. Thousands of mobile launchers, invisible until the moment of attack. And the accuracy? Ukrainian engineers brag there's never been a single case of hitting civilian infrastructure by accident. Compare that to Russia's indiscriminate strikes, and you see why Ukraine is framing this as not just a war for survival, but a war for moral superiority. But let's not sugarcoat it. If Ukraine truly masters mass missile production, Russia will be forced to respond. Analysts warn this could push Putin into escalating beyond conventional war, perhaps even threatening nuclear retaliation. After all, if Moscow feels cornered, history tells us it may lash out in the most devastating way. And yet, here lies the paradox. The very weapons that could bring peace by crippling Russia's economy could also drag the world into a new era of global instability. A terrifying balance of risk and reward. Firepoint's Flamingo missile might look like a pink-painted prototype, but don't be fooled. According to AP, it carries a warhead weighing more than a ton and flies nearly the length of the entire European continent. If Ukraine mass produces these, the war will never be the same. Neither will global security. So, what do you think? Are these weapons Ukraine's key to freedom? Or the spark that could ignite a wider conflict? Tell me in the comments. I want to know where you stand. And if you've stayed with me until now, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. It helps this channel keep uncovering stories the mainstream often avoids. If you want to verify everything I've shared, I've placed the full list of sources in the description. Sources: Associated Press interviews with Firepoint executives, AP technical reports on FP-5 Flamingo missile, Ukrainian military statements, 2024.